What's up, you guys? I'm Extra Eric from 103.3 Amp Radio, and we might not talk anymore after this. It's Charlie Puth.
Oh, there's the pun.
There's the pun.
There's the pun. There's the pun. That was
Always
good.
a pun.
You slipped it in. It was fun.
Smooth?
Smooth.
All right, are you ready to play 103 questions?
Yes.
So the game is you're going to pick 3 numbers from 1 to 103, one by one, and answer the corresponding question.
Okay.
Think you can do it?
All right. First number. Let's do number 1. I feel like no one ever does number 1.
Actually, a lot of people have done number 1.
Oh, well, I don't
Number
want...
1 is, who is your favorite Spice Girl?
My favorite Spice Girl is... This is on the internet forever, so I have to be sure. Can I say Scary Spice?
Scary Spice?
Scary
Mel B?
Spice. Mel B, yeah.
Any
I like
particular
Mel B.
reason?
She's very pretty. She always had a nice voice, and I tried to learn one of her dance moves one time. I didn't really listen to a whole lot of Spice Girls, but I know Mel B, and I know Baby Spice.
Baby Spice? I mean, you were a child of the 90s like myself.
Yeah.
And you weren't a huge Spice Girls fan?
I was. I'm giving you everything, all the joy can bring. This I swear. I liked when two become one.
Oh my God.
The
The dirtiest song that slipped over every young kid's mind.
So dirty, but I knew it was dirty when I was listening to it. I love that CD with like the bracelet on it. It's just such a.
It's so good.
It's so good. And Spice Up Your Life, of course. I remember watching all of that with
Spice Up Your Life was it.
That was a real hit record. That was a proper
Actually,
hit.
I'm laughing now because Charli XCX, as I told you, was the first person to play this game. She also got that same question. Charli.
Her and I are destined to be married, clearly.
Will you both be named Charlie Puth?
If we were married, that is the joke. We'd both be Charlie
That's a
Puth.
pretty alluring reason just to marry her for that.
Alluring? That's a good vocabulary word.
Can slip it into a song. All right, so I actually have a question for you now that I'm with you.
Okay.
That I've always been wondering for myself. You know it's going to be coming right when I say it, but I'm a die-hard mixer. Like, I love Little Mix.
I like Little Mix,
and
too.
I even got to talk to them back in March. But I have to ask.
Aren't they the nicest girls?
They are, like, the greatest people you will ever
They're
meet.
super sweet, yeah.
They were so nice to me, especially, like, some random kid. They were my first interview.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the best.
So, you were on their new album, Glory Days, on the song Oops.
Yeah.
Was that, I have like a conspiracy theory, was that track originally written for 9-Track Mind, or did you go into it writing it for them?
Close. So, Marvin Gaye, which did good in the United States but did exceptionally well in the UK, it was like a #1 record there. Simon Cowell had reached out to my camp, and he said that he wanted a record like Marvin Gaye for Little Mix. So I was just like, okay, let's write another Marvin Gaye for Little Mix. And so it wasn't intended to be on my album, but you have the right
Because
intent.
it sounds very similar to Marvin Gaye. I was listening to 9-Track Mind on the way here, and I was like, that's the track that like spun off the idea.
All because of the genius of Simon Cowell, and that was a #1 record. So he's very smart.
Interesting. All right, well, let's jump to a second question. What do you want to go with next?
Let's go with 25.
25?
Because that's how old I am.
Oh, same. Awkward story. We also went down the street. When you went to Berkeley, I also went to Northeastern at like the same time.
Really?
Yeah, right down the street from each
other.
other.
Didn't you have the best time? Damn, didn't you have the best time here?
Yeah.
It's so incredible.
Full speed. That's a perfect segue into this. 25 is, what's your most embarrassing story?
Most embarrassing story.
I've hung around Berkeley. I know some stuff.
I'm trying to think of an appropriate thing. With my dad being right to the left of you. Hello, Dad. No, you can. No,
Mr. Puth. I was not aware that was your father.
Yes, that is. That's fine. Being told by the police. I knew that the police here had big tall boots when and I always remember that they had big tall boots when I had one stepped right beside me while I was, we'll say, being romantically involved with this girl on the dock on the Charles, and I'll never forget that police have big tall boots in Boston.
Did you get kicked out of the Charles River?
I didn't get kicked with the big boot, but I did get threatened to.
Funny, we have that same story in common, believe it or not.
In the Boston Commons.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? Let's jump to number 3.
Okay, number 3. Let's do 89.
89?
I feel like these are good numbers.
This is a favorite question of mine. Can you name a Cascada song that's not Every Time We Touch? Yes. Somebody finally picked it.
Oh, can I name a Cascada song that's not Every Time We
Just
Touch?
like Little Mix, I'm a diehard Cascada fan, and I know nobody could name me one song that's not Every Time We Touch.
I love that record, and it really got my heart rate going in 2005.
Right Along Sandstorm.
Right Along Sandstorm. The tempo was up for whatever reason in 2005, but no, I cannot name another record by her, unfortunately.
You got to get on that.
Is there one that I should know? Like, have I heard one?
She dropped 2 songs in the past year that are actually fire.
Really?
You got to listen to Run. And you're going to listen to it and you're going to be like, oh, wow, she's actually, or they, excuse me, still got it.
Right.
You're going to be like, wow, no one ever would have seen this coming.
Did she sing the song, Baby, You're All That I Want?
She covered it.
She covered it?
The high tempo remix.
Why was everything fast back then?
I don't know. That was a weird time.
That was a weird time.
Right alongside the teenage grunge movement.
Yeah.
And all the alt music we had.
Yeah, and Jewel.
That's right, and Jewel. She was in there. Are you a big Jewel fan?
I know of Jewel, but it was very I feel like everything was like that was that record. That's everything
that want
real love. That's Pink. Real Love.
Yeah.
Pink. Yeah. I feel like everything sounded like
good.
like early 2000s had definitely.
That just got me so excited.
I know, that's a good record.
All right, before I let you go, I have one more question. Since we've already talked Charli XCX,
Yeah.
what was it like being on set of the Boys music video?
Clearly, you like Charli XCX.
You would never guess.
I
have a
wouldn't-
thing for the UK people, apparently.
Who would have thunk? It was great. When I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, of course, she's one of my best friends, so if she asked me to be a part of something, I was just like there the next day. I didn't know what to expect. I walked in, I saw a bunch of donuts. She was like, I was really hungover from the last night. I'm like, wow, I feel like such a grandpa. And then I saw the Fat Jew walk in, and he stripped down.
So you were on the same set with Fat Jew then?
Yeah, and he stripped. That's how I met Fat Jew. And he stripped down into a jean Speedo, which I thought was incredible. And he started just, and Charlie was like, let's take a picture. And the dude just met me and just like touched this nipple here, and I was like, wow, this is a really interesting guy.
Did you get White Girl Rosé out of it or anything?
I didn't. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, but he was throwing it itself on him. He was bathing with it. He's the best.
Well, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for playing 103 Questions. Any last words for the fans?
I love the fans, and more music soon.
We'll go out on that.
Oh yeah.